Do you cross-train when it comes to getting organized? Okay, stick with me for a second. I remember hearing a long time ago about how football players were using ballet to help them improve their balance and their general motor skills and made them better football players. And I was thinking about this with the context of organizing. I have an activity that I do that I love, that I think makes me better at organizing and might make you better at organizing too. So I want to just throw it out there. I love to puzzle, and I know, nerd alert, I know, but the minute the weather starts cooling off, I want to be inside, cozied up, and doing a puzzle. It's because I get mad dopamine hits from doing puzzles, and let me tell you why. First, I'm insufferable to do puzzles with. I did a puzzle with my family last holiday season, and I noticed I got really, really aggressive about how I do puzzles. But it's because it's like an organizing thing. I love doing puzzles with my family. I love doing puzzles with other people. But I noticed last holiday season when I was doing puzzles with my family, I was very different than a lot of people. I was doing puzzles a little uniquely, and I want to share how I do puzzles and the fact that it may help you. When I do a puzzle, I am big into categories. I love creating categories. So I will take a puzzle and I will subcategorize it from the edges versus the inside. And then I take the inside and I subcategorize all the colors of the inside, and I subcategorize the colors of the outside. And then I will create subcategories of the nuances within the different colors. And by the end, I have several bowls or plates that are covered with pieces. And I will just say, this is such a joyful experience for me. This is how you know I am an organizing nerd, because I love the process of categorizing. And there's so many good organizing lessons in doing puzzles. The patience that it takes, the fact that it forces us into a level of focus and calm. It lets us get into a state of flow. One of the things that I tell people when we're talking about getting organized and the 10 steps that I teach people on how to get organized, I talk about categories. And one of the activities that I have you do in the class is to go into a room and look around and write out, without touching or organizing anything, all the categories of items that you see there. Because most of the time, if I say, what's your office clutter? You'll say, oh, everything. It's everything. There's so much clutter, I don't even know. Well, if you look, you can probably see, okay, I see some unopened mail. I see some paperwork. Not sure what it is, but I see some paperwork. I see old banker boxes. I see some binders. I see books. I see office supplies. You might be able to list out those categories very easily once you are looking for categories versus looking for clutter. When we are looking at our physical clutter with the lens of what category does this fit in, it really helps our brain to calm down and to focus. And doing puzzles actually really helps this. Doing jigsaw puzzles really helps us because we are strengthening the muscles and the skill set of creating categories. So when you go and you separate all the red pieces from all of the green pieces versus all of the white pieces, your brain is getting a dopamine hit in that moment because you've achieved the next level of activity, but also it's helping you to refine your ability to see similarities in things and differences in things, which is a skill that is really, really helpful to the organizing process. It looks like we're playing a game, which we are. We're having fun doing this puzzle with people we love or on our own. But what we're really doing is we're reinforcing the skills and the strategies that it takes to get organized. When you're looking at a lot of clutter in your life and you're feeling overwhelmed, the number one thing you can do is create categories. And I always say to people, if you look at your clutter and you're still overwhelmed, you do not have enough categories. You're going to keep creating categories and subcategories until you get to a place where you feel like you can breathe, you feel like taking action feels easy or just like the next right action. That's what we want to do. And doing puzzles, and I know this is probably seemingly a very strange reach, but I promise you, it is really helping you to practice these skills, because how we do anything is how we do everything. And you getting a handle on taking a complex puzzle and separating into categories and then subcategories, and then the joyful part of watching all of those categories become a finished product of a puzzle that has been completed feels so good. And that's exactly like how we feel when we are deconstructing a room that has been disorganized and chaotic, and we're moving it into a state of organization. Puzzles are literally the same as organizing a space. You've got this chaos. You have to create categories. You have to subcategorize. And then you're looking for order as you're moving it back into a place of stability. Then you're looking for the order that it fits in. And when you're done, you get this beautiful deliverable that feels so good. You get all the dopamine hits and it feels just lovely. If you feel like you need a little help getting organized and categories are challenging for you, instead of trying to get organized for the umpteenth, thousandth time, do a puzzle instead. Grab a jigsaw puzzle, dump it out, and start to do it. Know that as you're doing this puzzle, playing this game, it seems like you're having a good time, which you are, but also it's helping you establish those very important organizing skills that you can then take and apply to any organizing process you do, any organizing project that you do. Sometimes the thing that we need most when it comes to getting organized is not to organize at all. Sometimes it's to just strengthen the skills and cross-train in another area. For more tips, organizing tricks, and insights, please join me here and comment below if you are going to try and use puzzles to start to strengthen your organizing skills at home. Thanks so much for being here.